Coming up, we're all about making a statement. We get bold with the perfect shade of lipstick.
We get inspired by a landmark piece of architecture.
Though her signature may be architectural, to me that's just an utterly feminine piece.
We bear all with this season's trendy top.
I love a crop top. I think a crop top's fun. It's a party top.
But first, a 90s denim look comes back to the fold.
The Canadian tuxedo is hot now.
This is Style Factory.
Imagine, if you can, life without jeans.
If I was stranded on a deserted island, my jeans would be coming with me.
Everyone should have a pair of jeans. Every man, woman, child, I mean, even your dog.
They've become, I think, the most popular item of all time for a reason.
Denim jeans were invented 130 years ago by tightly weaving cotton and dyeing it blue with indigo.
Now, jeans really are the uniform of modern life, but they were initially worn by working men, people working in farms and fields and miners.
But then it wasn't until the 1950s with the greaser culture that jeans became this popular fashion item.
Since then, jeans have exploded into every shape, size, and cut you can imagine.
Okay, so skinny, high waist,
Boyfriend, boot, straight leg,
Light wash, medium wash,
dark wash,
ripped,
distressed,
crop, boyfriend,
embellished, faded.
frayed bottom.
jean shorts.
Is that a lot?
I think that's it.
Not even close. Plus, who can forget the Canadian tuxedo? A top-to-tail denim look that hit its apex with Britney and Justin in the late 90s, and it's making a modest comeback.
Well, the Canadian tuxedo is a great invention for me because we sell denim shirts, we sell denim jackets, we sell jeans. Canadian tuxedo is hot now.
Brandon Spark is the fast-talking, highly enthused founder of Naked and Famous Denim that proudly caters to all your denim needs. All of them.
Well, I love denim because it's versatile. Like, we've made glow-in-the-dark jeans and raspberry scratch and sniff jeans and silk blend jeans, 32-ounce heaviest jeans in the world. So I get to play with it and make amazing stuff. It's pretty much my dream job.
Naked and Famous's best-selling jean is the Weird Guy.
It's jean shaped like legs, so it's a little bit wider than the thigh and then gradually taper down to your ankle. We call it the Weird Guy just because I'm a weird guy and I like funny names.
Like all Brandon's designs, the Weird Guy jeans are manufactured in this hip studio near Montreal, Quebec. And they all start as selvage denim imported from Japan.
We love selvage denim because the Japanese make it the old school way. It's dyed in a special method called rope dyeing, which fades very beautifully.
It has like that rawness to it. It makes the jeans so much more masculine, and it looks great on men's butt.
Before the jeans can enhance derrieres, they start as rolls of plain denim. The fabric is laid onto the cutting table 45 layers thick. From this, nearly 400 pairs of jeans can be cut. And the design is remarkably complex, as a single pair of jeans uses 15 pieces of denim, 6 brass rivets, 4 buttons, and 190 meters of yellow gold thread. The legs are made of 4 major sections, 2 front panels and 2 back panels. Those are stitched together at the seams, including a button fly. The back end of the legs, yes, the butt, intersect to form an area called the yoke. And it's all held together at the top with a waistband complete with belt loops. To get started, Roger uses an electric straight knife to cut each piece by hand.
One thing I love about our construction is that we use very old special machines. There's no plastic parts like when you see a modern machine. I love that these machines are like tanks, and they make a denim that is built like a tank as well.
That heavy-duty construction starts with the detail pieces. First, the fly section is put together using an overlock stitch.
Overlock is a type of stitch that can close an open seam. And then the keyhole buttons are made with the keyhole button machine.
Next, the coin pocket is sewn onto the right pocket sections.
Denim nerds look out for the hidden selvage coin pocket. So if you look on the coin pocket of your jeans and you look inside or look on the top of it, you'll see a little selvage edge there.
The back pocket pieces are hemmed, then pressed onto the top of the leg, before being whizzed across to get stitched into place.
Then we use one of my favorite machines, which is a feet off the arm machine. They say that you can't make vintage jeans without this machine. And the yoke is then passed through this machine, which is done in a feet off stitch.
Now, the leg fronts are joined to the back. Each tapered leg is stitched inside out at the seams.
What a tapered leg does is it hits you closer to the ankle, and it makes your foot look longer, which makes your leg look longer, which makes you look taller and slimmer, and that is the most modern fit.
Before they head to the finishing phase, the jeans are flipped inside in with a nifty vacuum machine.
The right place to hem, I mean, it depends on you. In the summer, some people will hem their jeans really short and kind of roll them up. A lot of guys are rolling or cuffing their jeans, especially you can show off your little selvage edge with it. Wear a cool sock or even no sock. And in the wintertime, some guys prefer to have it a little bit longer and, kind of hit the top of the sole of your shoes.
The waistband is attached, pulling the legs and the yoke together in a perfect pants shape. The belt loops are added next. Brass rivets are attached to the pocket corners, and buttons popped onto the fly. Finally, it's labeling time. There's the leather patch on the waistband, and the paper tag that attaches to the belt loop, tucking into the back pocket. Ready to pair with just about anything.
Just going with a plain t-shirt and a pair of running shoes, you're good to go. But that same pair of jeans with a crisp white shirt and a great high heel suddenly is a completely different thing altogether.
These jeans are fresh off the rack, but they have to get out to come alive.
For me, the only way to distress a jean is to wear it. Go out and play sports in it, or go to your job, or ride a bike, do whatever you do, just wear it and live your life in it.
For such a tiny piece of clothing, the crop top sure gets a whole lot of love.
I love a crop top. I think a crop top's fun, personally. I love it. It's a party top.
I think it's for like a younger generation, or like if you were in the 90s.
Which just so happens to be the crop top's heyday.
Well, the crop top definitely makes me think of the 90s. But hey, the 90s are back, so let's go with it.
Who didn't want to be Kelly Kapowski, Kelly? Come on. I always had a crop top. I did. That's me doing the emoji.
Believe it or not, this midriff bearing style actually made its debut in the 1940s, when it was reserved for picnics and the poolside. Cue today's version, an off-the-shoulder peasant style in light pinstripe blue.
I'm just inspired by truly classic, timeless design and beauty.
Mark D. Sykes is the designer at MDS Stripes, headquartered right here in North Hollywood. His crop top is a modern twist on the classic silhouette.
The short sleeve peasant top is classic and timeless, but there's also a sexiness to it that's very much of a trend right now.
That's true, and it's all about off the shoulder right now. Off the shoulder crop tops, which I find very flattering.
Mark's devotion to all things beautiful isn't exactly new.
I've just always been completely mesmerized by women and their clothing and how they can wear clothes.
And his lifelong fascination is realized in this small 6,000 square foot factory, where today's muse is the crop top's driving influence in popular culture.
So the short sleeve peasant top that we're drawing right now is definitely inspired by Clara McCardle. She was an amazing American designer from the 30s and the 40s. Lauren Bacall was an amazing actress, obviously, who used to wear her clothes. And I think that's why we call these silhouettes timeless, is because they still look relevant today. And then obviously I want to do it in this fabric.
Mark chooses a light blue and white pinstripe pattern.
We use Italian cotton, men's shirting fabric, because they have a rich, long tradition of creating beautiful wovens.
He created his entire American sportswear line from this material, but Mark interprets it in a whole new way.
And the idea was to create something for women that was using these fabrications, but in feminine styles.
This begs the question, what does a men's shirt fabric offer a woman?
There's something about the crispness of cotton, not only because it feels great, but it's also the way it hangs, the way it drapes. And there's also like a structural quality to it that is very appealing.
Mark leaves the draping up to his pattern maker, Kristen. She's earned her stripes, pun intended, bringing his visions to life.
So usually I start off with a sketch from the designer, some of which can be quite unrealistic. A lot of the times the proportions are really long and skinny, and then there's all this design in the middle, and you're like, that's never gonna fit on a normal human. We need to compress the whole thing.
Kristen uses a malleable cotton material called muslin to make a temporary version of the shirt on the form.
I'm always thinking about the gravity and movement of humans that need to move in it. So it's a combination of creativity and a manufacturability that I also have to keep in mind.
For pattern complete, the fabric is laid out onto a table, and the shirt's two pieces are cut out with an electric saw. Mark stays true to the classic pinstripe style, keeping the lines vertical, a direction thought to have a slimming effect.
The only thing you need to know about wearing stripes is that the line, it needs to go from here to here, never here, here. It will make you look so big.
But then sometimes vertical stripes make me look shorter. True.
And I don't think that's the case. I think anything you wear, if you're comfortable, you look great. But I also think the stripes are very flattering. I think it's just because they're classic. They look great on everybody.
The cut fabric is brought back to Kristen, who pins the front and back pieces to the form.
So we can play around with the fabric and see how much you like as far as the amount of volume.
She has lots to work with, thanks to that stretchy, elastic neckline.
It's a lot easier to give something a nice fit if it has elastic to it.
The front and back pieces are sewn together. Then an elastic is inserted into the neckline and bottom of the shirt.
This particular piece is very simple to create, but I think that because of the silhouette and the details, it has a couture aspect to it, so it seems much more complicated than it actually really is.
With the trims, tags, and labels completed, this shirt is done. Ready for you to continue your lifelong love affair with the crop top.
You could put it with a black leather jacket, it feels edgy. You could put it with a peasant skirt, it feels bohemian. And it just is that classic timeless piece that I think works with everything.
Wearing red lipstick is a surefire way to get noticed.
It's such a signature look. It's so strong. It's so iconic.
Red lipstick is a go-to of my beauty look, I must say.
I like a deeper color. Red, but with a bit of a richness to it. It's dangerous.
We wore red lipstick hardcore for like 10 to 15 years, like only red lipstick. Like, I think they say a woman in their lifetime eats 4 pounds of lipstick. No, way more than that. Well, we used to eat maybe like 10 pounds of red lipstick a year.
This bright, bold shade is an automatic pick-me-up and has been since the dawn of makeup time.
In the time of Queen Elizabeth I, the beauty ideal was seen as having very, very pale white skin and red lips. So Elizabeth would create a kind of proto-lipstick with beeswax and red stains from plants.
Today, it's the must-have in your makeup bag. Seriously, just ask any makeup expert.
Every woman should own a really good red lipstick.
You can wear red lipstick day or night, any season. I think it's the one thing that someone can put on and instantly feel ready to face the world.
This is Megan Campanola. She is the product manager for Quo Cosmetics, the beauty brand created exclusively for Shoppers Drug Mart and Pharmaprix stores.
We're a luxury cosmetic brand without the luxury price.
If we're speaking in those terms, Quo's Creamy Matte, aptly named Red Alert, is the makeup equivalent of a shiny sports car.
The shade is hot, it's bold, and it makes a statement. Watch out, I'm here.
It all starts in this 17,000 square foot lab in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Here, Megan and Mandy develop a test batch to compare with the lipstick's benchmark prototype.
We should add a little bit extra wax because we definitely want our bullet to be nice and firm and have some good strength. If we don't add enough wax, it'll be too soft.
At Quo, creating the perfect shade is a science.
We work with the lab technicians to add different pigments that will achieve the color that we're looking for.
The payoff is there. We've got the intensity of the red and definitely the matte texture is coming out. Yeah, absolutely.
As it turns out, finding the perfect shade is a science too. Do you think Gwen Stefani got it right on the first try?
If you're trying to choose the right shade of red, I think it really comes down to trial and error. I would recommend pairing a red lipstick with a very understated eye. Skip the eyeliner, go light on the mascara, and choose very natural eyeshadow colors.
Finding the perfect shade will really depend on your skin tone. So if you're a little bit more on the warmer side, you want to stick with something that's a little bit more on the orangey family. And if you're a little bit more on the pale side, you want to use something that's a bit more blue-based.
The cool tones in this lipstick make it a very versatile and modern shade, and also brings a lot of vibrancy and pigment to the color.
Bulk manufacturing of the Red Alert happens in stages.
This lipstick contains 2 natural waxes, as well as mango butter and vitamin E.
Those ingredients are weighed and deposited into a kettle. where they're heated into a liquid overnight.
You need to get the base of the lipstick brought up to a certain temperature and ready for pigment to be added. To achieve the red color, we have a mix of 3 pigments. The pigment is mixed separately to liquefy it before it gets added into the wax base.
With the lipstick's base fully incorporated, it's tested for consistency, shade, texture, even smell.
We didn't want to put a very overpowering fragrance into the lipstick. It's just a very light French vanilla sweet scent to make it a more pleasurable experience for the customer.
Once the batch is approved, the kettle mixer is attached to a filling machine that leads to the molding assembly line. Here, the hot liquid base is pumped into flexible silicone molds, creating that classic shape known as a bullet. A nod to the 1940s, when makeup companies used an actual bullet to calculate a lipstick's length. Once they're cooled, a machine inserts the lipstick into tubes and twists them down. This version features a magnetic closure and an aluminum black exterior shell,
which makes it feel very sleek and modern.
Each tube is assembled by hand, and this red-hot tube is ready to wear anywhere.
A red lipstick can really define your whole look. Basic t-shirt, jeans, some great shoes, and a red lipstick will just completely change your whole outfit.
Unless you're wearing it on your teeth.
I have a trick to not get lipstick on my teeth. Well, you can either like do this with like a tissue, or I just did that on TV.
In New York City, one would think you should be prepared to dress for all seasons. But one local designer humbly disagrees. Yoli Tang.
Clothing should not be about seasons anymore. The 5th season is a non-season. You wear it year-round.
Yoli was a designer who emerged in 80s New York. If a woman's walking down the street, you're gonna notice that person if they're wearing, say, a Yoli coat or a Yoli gown. They float on air. They have a tremendous sense of proportion.
Cue Yoli's beach sand-colored crib coat in 100% super lightweight cotton, bonded with polyurethane. The coat is defined by a free-form, flowing body and contrasting cube sleeves to give it structure.
It's not even a coat, necessarily, you know? I can see somebody wearing it as a dress, belted.
And does it ever make a statement?
So the great thing about a statement coat is that you can, play with best of both worlds. You can either go really simple and minimalist or very high fashion and avant-garde.
Yoli's unique style comes from her passion for architecture. And the crib coat was inspired by an odd-looking multi-cube building with juxtaposing circular windows built in the Shimbashi district of Tokyo. The compact rooms are designed as overnight cribs for business people too tired to commute home, hence the crib coat.
Kurokawa built the Nagakin Tower in Japan, and it was just a curious-looking building.
Once a design idea clicks, Yoli downloads it directly onto a Judy by draping muslin cloth cuts until the clothes are born.
I actually don't use muslin in a traditional way. It's a process of trial and error, and sometimes you get lucky, and it works out.
Once she's happy with the Judy's design, Yoli has to figure out which fabric best suits the coat. A freeform coat for all seasons is guided by warmth with structure, but without weight. And that's where the super lightweight bonded cotton comes in.
This fabric was especially unique in the sense that it was a bonded fabric, which tends to be heavy, but it was very supple and light.
To make the coat, rolls of the fabric are laid out, marked with a sheet of paper, and the coat pieces are cut. Today, Humberto cuts the fabric by hand with his trusty scissors. Yoli has always been on the front lines of a very, very strict zero-waste trend. Not a scrap of fabric goes to a landfill. Her decision is thrifty and eco-friendly, both traits inspired from her upbringing.
I grew up in Malaysia, specifically on a little island called Pulau Pinang, and fashion is a sarong, and that's where zero waste came from.
Once the fabric is cut, the pieces are sent to a tailor, who quickly stitches the seams using a strong and totally not wasteful straight stitch. The single back and 2 side pieces are sewn together relatively easily, but attaching the cube-shaped sleeves, inspired by Kurokawa's building, is a tricky task.
Armholes are about this shape. They're not that shape. So that's very challenging to make it look attractive and not sloppy, you know?
Though her signature may be architectural, the sleeve, for example, it's kind of got a balloon effect. It almost reminds you of, say, a flower. And to me, that's just an utterly feminine piece.
Most, if not all, women love a good pocket. So rounded pockets are sewn into both side sections of the coat.
I decided to balance out the geometric form with a curved pocket that actually is the shape of a hand.
The eye-pleasing combo of circular and square means you're sure to stand out in a crowd.
I would wear it to an event where I wasn't going to take off my coat, and maybe wear it with very slim trousers, and maybe almost like a very tight sweater or a body stocking.
Once the coat comes off the line, Yoli gives each one a thorough inspection before it hits stores, ready to impress year-round.
Design can be art form or it can be fashion. I think it should work together seamlessly. No pun intended.